Good morning, Professor. Shivraj?
Sir, you are on mute, I think.
Sir.
Yeah,
Unmute,
good
Professor.
morning.
Good morning, Professor.
Yeah, so good morning to all.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Thank you for joining this session, and it's my honor to be part of this FTP. And I wanted to actually discuss about some pedagogy, what you call pedagogy issues or pedagogy methods, and my views about how engineering education is today and what we can do to make it better. So, but before that, I also want to know if there is any suggestions or comments so far regarding this FTP, because as you know that I am also the PI of this program, and we are always looking for any comments or feedback. So if there is any suggestions or comments, I'd be very happy to take them or to discuss with you. So if you have any issues, you can either put it on chat box, or if you have any suggestions or comments how we can make these FTPs better, I'll be very happy and glad if you can share with me, or you can unmute yourself, can also let me know, or put it in chat box. Okay, so let me then begin by basically sharing my slides. So you can see my slides?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Okay. Just one second. Yeah, so I will spend about half an hour, 45 minutes, maybe about 1 hour on pedagogy and how, what we can do to make education, particularly education in engineering and technology better, and what sort of practices can be used to make this overall learning experience for the class and the students and the learners better, and how to kind of motivate them for unleashing their potential in whatever areas they want to pursue going forward in future. So before I go there, I think we need to also put pedagogy in perspective of FDPs also, and what we are expecting or what we really want to do as an outcome of this FDP. Because any learning has to has an objective and outcome, and I would like to define through this particular FDP session, pedagogy session, what are the learning outcomes of our FDPs, and why we are doing these FDPs, and what I will request the learners and the faculty members out there to kind of fulfill our objective. So what we are trying to do is to create an environment of upgrading, upskilling, and building new capability in terms of content in engineering faculty across India. And the reason we are doing this is because through this program supported by mighty Government of India, we want to make sure that the content that is taught across India in engineering institutions, in various technical institutions of repute, is relevant to industry, is relevant for the learners or people or the students who are then ultimately going to look for opportunities or career and challenges of future. So we want to make sure that the FTP that we do has a multiplier effect. And once the faculty members are able to upgrade their knowledge in a new learning area, then they are able to then take it over and working with their colleagues in institutes in a co-teach model or working on their own are able to then deliver the content to the students out there. And this is the overall objective. And we want to create as much upgradation of knowledge as possible in emerging technologies, and then make sure that that content that is upgraded and imparted to faculty members is then ultimately shared or is delivered or is trained onto the students themselves. So our core goal is to implement the learning that is gained through FDPs into curriculum and training and ensure that the ultimate beneficiaries of FDPs are students. And we want to make sure the students then become competitive and they gain employability in the gap areas or in the need areas, and they acquire practical and theoretical skills that are taught by faculty members. The FDPs also are meant for bridging the gaps because there is always new demand, new areas being created in industry. Prime example of this today is AI and machine learning. So we want to fill these deficiencies through the trained faculty with focus on industry readiness and enhancing the curriculum's competence and the quality. We also encourage practical learning and want to make sure that ultimately we integrate hands-on training with theoretical teachings into a program and promote problem-solving based learning as well as innovations for greater success of the students. So ultimate vision of these FTPs is to enable the participants become facilitators of a transformative education and provide the graduates with the knowledge and skills which are relevant for industry and research or the challenges of the future. So this is the message that I want to send out to the faculty members out there who are attending the FTPs out that we are conducting, and also to present audience, that ultimately we expect that as an outcome of this FTP, there will be a content integration of that learning that you do here in the curriculum, where ultimate beneficiaries are your own students, making them more competent, more ready, and more knowledgeable for taking on challenges, taking on opportunities that exist in the gap areas, as well as also fulfilling the needs in a wider perspective of society. So that is something that is very important for us, and I am very sure that all of you after completing this FDP, will make an effort of how we can blend what I have learned here into my own curriculum. It can be a module, it can be a small few labs, it could be projects, it could be a research initiative. So it could take multiple forms, but the aim is to make students as the ultimate beneficiaries of the outcome of FDPs. Of course, there are many other advantages of doing FDPs, so I think I don't need to stress it too much. It helps faculty members stay updated with emerging technologies such as AI, machine learning, blockchain, etc. It bridges the gap between industry and academia, fosters innovative teaching approaches, curriculum development, and collaboration and networking. And also, before I move on, I will also again re-emphasize and remind all that we are always looking for collaboration for organizing more faculty development programs. And if any one of the faculty members of the colleges, of the institutes are willing to participate and partner with us, we'll be very happy to work with you to organize FDP in a joint collaborative mode, where all the funding support and other logistic support in terms of registration, certificate, etc., is taken care of by AICTE Academy IIT Roorkee. We are just looking for a better participation and providing facilities and resources available locally at your institute to organize hands-on. So do feel free to reach out to us if you have any proposal or plan of organizing an FDP. Really happy to work with you. And also, I just want to highlight again that all this is fully supported through the initiative. We do not expect any financial resources or financial burden on the institute, and we are fully funding this program. And the money, the fees are being paid to the instructors using the resources of the college, as well as also to coordinators, etc. AICTE Academy also, in addition to FDPs, also organizes PG certificate programs, and these programs are catered to the needs of those learners who want to organize or who want to participate in a program looking at greater in-depth knowledge and creating an expertise for themselves. So this is a program which is like doing a master's program. The content that is being delivered in these PG certificate programs is the same as what our IIT professors will teach into their own MTech programs. And the level of engagement is really very in-depth, running up to 6 months. The classes are normally held either in the weekends or sometime in the evenings. And we will make sure that you develop an expertise if you attend these programs. So right now we have 3 of these courses. One course is on electrical vehicle. There's a postgraduate certificate program on applied data science and AI. There's a PG certificate on cloud computing and DevOps. So that is something that is very important for us. And we want to make sure that if you are interested, particularly your graduates, the students, or maybe the working professionals, so anybody who's interested in this program with the minimum prerequisite can reach out to us, and we'll be happy to register you in these programs. The program fees is really very low, given the 6 months of content and engagement that we have with the IT professors and experts. The kind of fees that we're offering is only 38,000, which is almost like 1/3 of the similar program which you might find at other platforms. These are live interactive programs, and there's a hands-on session, there's projects, there's evaluation. So there's overall very holistic learning experience and in-depth knowledge that is being imparted through these programs. So if you are interested, please feel free to reach out to us or recommend it to your friends or any fresh graduates or 3rd or 4th year students, and we're happy to work with you. Now, I would like to also take this opportunities to motivate and suggest introduction in the curriculums of engineering educations, a topic which is generally can be labeled as AI core. Now, in old days or in the current curriculums of most engineering institutions, we normally give a 1st or 2nd year level course to the students where they do programming, learn programming, and little bit of maybe data structures. However, if you look at the need for today's scenario, then not only programming and basic IT skills are important, but you also need an exposure to machine learning, data science, AI, and deep learning, etc. So there is a strong need today for engineering institutions across the country to introduce a new AI core, which can be 3 cores. Excuse me? Hello?
Pratyusha, can you please mute yourself?
Yeah. So,
Hello?
hello?
Ma'am.
Can somebody mute this?
Yeah, it is done, sir. It is
Okay.
done.
So what I'm trying to say is that it is very important that we train our students in machine learning, AI, and data science. So there is a need to introduce at least 3 courses, if not 3, then 2 courses, in addition to the programming and algorithms and data structures course, to make sure that the students are ready for the learning and the gaps that are required by the industry. Because the applications of machine learning, data science are pervasive in all areas of science, technology, engineering, and we need to ensure the students are competent in these areas to take on the jobs, to take on the opportunities and the challenges that exist that future will throw upon them. So this curriculum, which you can call AI core, could include foundational concepts in machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, computer vision, ethical considerations, data analysis, and so on. And you can actually find more information either from Google, online resources, or we can also provide you some feedback if you need it. What we are trying to tell is that already at IIT Roorkee, for example, and some other IITs, you will see that the curriculum already have introduced these courses. So we have 2 separate programs which are dedicated to AI, machine learning, data science, deep learning, etc. And the programs that you should be done are more like in a theory and practice mode, because many of these programs are really something which is based on practical learning. So it is best that the program should have equal theory with equal practice. Okay. And we need to ensure that the student understands basics of AI and its potential application in a domain-specific area, as well as also students understand the societal effect of these technologies and ethical issues involved. So, coming to the pedagogy, and pedagogy is a very important topic. Pedagogy, when is followed rightly with the good technical content, maximizes the outcomes and learning objectives. Your content might be very good, teacher might be very good, but if the pedagogy is not up to the mark, then the content delivery will not be effective. So in pedagogy, we need to understand and focus on developing effective learning strategies and approaches that mixes theory and practice to give a holistic education to the students and to the learners out there. The core aim is to ensure that we are embracing the right teaching methods which will cater to the varied need of learners, emphasizing and promoting critical thinking, creativity, and innovation. The basic foundations and the principles of pedagogy are based on learner-centered approach, which will foster active participation and encouraging student-led activities, active engagement, which will encourage participatory learning, discussions, and hands-on activities. And also inclusivity, which addresses cultural, linguistics, and socio-economic diversity. So this is an important aspect. India being a diverse culture country with people, with the students from different backgrounds, different level of socio-economic situations. So teacher has to understand the diversity that exists in the class and then make sure that effort is made to uh, to to make every student part of the class, create a welcoming environment such that everybody is now an active learner and participating in the uh, in, in the in the learning and experience process. Some other aspects of pedagogies are collaboration. So, in good pedagogy, you promote group work and peer-to-peer learning, which fosters teamwork, building communication skills, as well as adaptability, incorporating flexible teaching methods to accommodate different learning styles, preferences, and pacings. Ultimately, also, a very important objective of pedagogy is to promote innovation and to utilize the technology and the creative approaches and new tools to enhance the learning outcomes. So, the change and innovation in the learning itself is an important aspect of pedagogy. Pedagogy must stress on active learning because the research has shown that incorporating those strategies which involve active learning, in university courses significantly enhances the student learning experience. So, active learning approach motivates the students to engage in the learning by thinking, having discussions, investigations, and creating. Student practice solving problems and also they are made to struggle with complex questions and also taught to make decisions and come up with new ideas and propose solutions in their own words through writing and discussions. So active learning have to be stressed, and when we go to the class we want to keep in mind all the time whatever content I'm delivering, are the students involving actively in this content. And there are various strategies that you can adapt to make your learning active. One is student engagement, which will focus on learning process by getting student actively involved either in the form of asking some intelligent questions or giving some hands-on projects, group activity, etc., etc. Also, you can promote active learning by practicing high-level thinking, which will help to promote deeper understanding and encourage students analyze, evaluate, and synthesize the content, collaboration, reflection, and applications. So there are various strategies that even if 2 or 3 of them you follow, you will find that level of engagement in the class has become higher. Okay, particularly activities around collaboration, activity around hands-on, etc., is very important. These are some of the examples of active learning strategies that can be used, particularly those involving participations of the learners in the form of practical activity as well as debates and discussions, quizzes, etc., is very important. So, in order to also motivate active learning, you can also use some of the motivation strategies. And these strategies can really help you to actually find more involvement, greater interest, as well as active participations of your learners in your content and your class. Some of the key aspects of motivations are, at the outset, it's very important to set the goals right. You have to tell the students on the class that what are the outcomes that we expect after you doing this course. If you do this in the right spirit, you will be able to achieve so and so proficiency. For example, if I'm doing a course on VLSI design, I will set a goal. By end of this course, you'll be able to design, let us say, a small ALU. So when you set those kind of goals, which are connected to the what you call overall practical potential of the program, you'll find greater motivation for the students to learn. Okay, and also there is a lot of emphasis on something which is practical and real life. Like if you give real life examples, real life problems, projects, gamify the learning, you will see better motivation. Also, you have to show enthusiasm. You have to build good relationship with students, promote collaborative learning. There is also very important aspect of patience, because you will find these days classes are large, and in order to set anything right and in order to create an impact and order, you need to have a patience with the students, because students have different expectation. They have different they can have different perspective to the topic, and you ultimately have to be patient in order to drive home the learning that you want to achieve. Another very important aspect is the timely feedback. Whatever evaluation that we do, student must be given the feedback in terms of the marks or the comments or any kind of suggestions. It must be done in a timely manner, because then the student feel that their activities are being rewarded. The teaching is something which is also a topic which has been reflected upon by great scholars and scientists. And there you can see that teaching, the message that you see is, for example, that this is a quote by Socrates, which says that I cannot teach anybody anything, I can only make them think. In the words of Galileo, you cannot teach a man anything, you can only help him to find it for himself. And Einstein says that I only attempt to provide conditions in which the people can learn. So the point here is that it is nowhere in this reflection so much of emphasis on the technical aspects of the content, but rather making sure that students are able to think, students are able to explore for themselves, and there are conditions in the classroom which students feel conducive for learning. Okay, so this is actually the core of pedagogy. You have to ensure that there is an active participatory learning where students are motivated to explore, students are trained to do critical thinking and good decisions making, and you provide conditions in which students feel welcome and motivated to learn. So that is what the pedagogy is all about. There are various surveys and feedbacks where people have reflected upon different aspects of education, and this particular survey is talking about what is the weakest contribution of engineering education in computing related disciplines. And it says that the people felt, professionals, that decision making ability was not very well addressed, followed by critical thinking or thinking ability, then the procedural knowledge. Others are not so high in terms of the percentage. So I think that the top 2 points need to be taken care of. That how do you train when you are teaching a content? Good decision making capability in the learners, and also thinking analysis is an important aspect that also is important as part of education. The learning experience is something where there are events or some conditions where you will see a lot more greater movement in terms of or learning or activation of the learners. If you find some expected results, questions regarding evidence and choice, you present variety of observations. If there is absence of satisfactory answers from authority, assignments at higher level, and application in new context. So whatever you learn, you can apply it to something at the level one notch higher than what is being taught at, or application of the concepts and idea that you learn in one area in a new idea. So there also you find a lot of excitement and forward movement and engagement in reasoning. So all these are something as conditions or events or situations. If you create in your own class, you will find a lot of positive experience or forward learning experience of the learners or the students. One thing that also need to be kept in mind is that the adults or the grown-up are not similar to young kids. And it is very important that you keep this point in mind, that what are the needs of the grown-up learners and how they approach learning compared to what we are trying to teach them. So the learners need to know as to why they need to learn something. So that is very important and challenging situation, that before you start a subject or topic or a lecture, it is important to emphasize why should I learn this. And also the learners, grown-up learner, adult, actually have by inherent nature, they learn by doing, getting some experience. So practical learning or the project-based learning or experiential learning is an important aspect of higher education or teaching adults. Also, approach of adults to learning is more based on problem solving. So problem solving approach is something which is very important, and if you implement this in your own content, you'll find a lot better learning experience in the class. Also, adults also need learn best when the topic is of immediate value. So you'll have to connect what you are doing to something practical, to something as an opportunity, to something which is solving a problem or serving a need. Then you will find that the learning in adults is best. Here are some of the data that shows you that what kind of teaching methods works best. Now, here you can see that the top 3 teaching experiences or methods are based on activity. So you find group projects, you find practical training, you'll find projects given to the people, and all these are very pivotal for a good learning experience or outcome. And as much as you can see that your lectures that we do all the time in our classes actually are at number 5. So this actually is something like an eye-opener in terms of how I can improve my pedagogy in order to give better learning experience to the students. Now, this is a something which is very foundational in terms of how cognitions and learning happens in various steps. So there was this educational psychologist who led a team to development of what is now called as Bloom's taxonomy. And this is a model which classify the learning objectives and cognitive processes as a classification that describes 6 levels of cognitive learning. And each level represents a different cognitive skill. So this taxonomy primarily provides instructors with a focus for developing their course content or course learning outcomes. So this is a kind of step-by-step approach in order for a teacher or an instructor to fulfill the learning outcomes. So some of the things that you can keep in mind in terms of what students think they do when they do a course versus what students think will work best for them. So generally the expectation or the opinion of the students when they go to a class, they think that when they go to a class, they'll be asked to primarily calculate, explain, or prove something. Okay, it will involve doing some calculation, computation, evaluation, determining, justifying, so on and so forth. So this basically leans towards something like, more like content which is theory heavy, like lot of theoretical understanding and learning is being provided. That's what students think. Whereas what students think will work best for them is more or greater emphasis on practical learning in the form of a design, analysis, build, apply. Okay, and similar is the experience or the opinion of professional engineers, and they recommend also learning which is promoting analysis, design, development, implementation, etc. So I would, in a couple of slides, I would like to wind up. Actually, I was expecting to start at 11 o'clock. So also in pedagogy, it's very important to improvise, innovate, and implement practical tools. So whatever tools that are there out there, if you can utilize them in your own teaching experience, you will find actually better participation of learners. Like if you can use tools for interactive quizzes, any tools which can create gamify experience, and tools for collaboration, brainstorming, project management, etc. Even there are tools available for proctored exams and to help maintain integrity of the online test, and also significantly reduce the chances of candidates using unfair means. So point is that blending IT tools and new technologies in our teaching and training will vastly enhance not only effectiveness of our content delivery, but at the same time better participation and active learning from the students and the learners as a whole. There are some other practical tools like Google Forms, Socrative, Canva, and Prezi for various kind of situations. And likewise also there are various kind of training methods and workshops, case studies, role playing, etc. That is very useful, which can be tried in variety of ways depending upon the kind of program that you are delivering or the courses that you are delivering. And there are various training methods, which I think indirectly or directly I also stressed in earlier. Experiential learning, which is based on hands-on and fieldwork and internship. Gamified learning, which will boost engagement, motivation, and retention of knowledge. As well as also there are varied variety of delivery methods, blended and synchronous learning, and also asynchronous and hybrid learning. So depending on the requirement of the class, the kind of situations, all these things, tools have become very important these days. There are various kind of online platforms that are available and that can be utilized. Particularly, student can be motivated for taking any of the online MOOCs program, depending upon time and affordability. And you have NPTEL, EICT academies around India. There are various other professional paid platforms like Coursera, edX, etc. And people are being now using this. And these can be a supplementary even on your own teaching and in your curriculum delivery. These can be a supplementary platforms for students to go to build either some gap in the content or in sort of their preparation for the course, or even providing them some practical experience. So with this, although I do have some other slide, but I would like to stop here. And if there are any questions, I will take a look at, and then we can wind up the class. Any questions or comments?
Sir, first of all, let me thank you very much for your enlightening presentation. It is really helping us to understand the pedagogical concepts while delivering the lectures to the students.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Right. Thank you, sir. With this, we will wind up the session. We will move on to the physical session, which is being conducted within next 2 to 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Please join us.